Again, yeah, again, it's just I'm just trying to emphasize on the posters. What is going on, Roland Empire? Here, guys, to give you a video. I want to do a bit of a discussion. It's been kind of like that thing now where basically a lot of my channel is discussion slash movie reviews, and it's something that I just had of a thought that I want to talk about for a few minutes. Hopefully, maybe someone replies. We could just discuss. We could debate. But it's the whole when I was watching, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I thought about what Batman he went through and all that stuff, and then realizing, okay, and it's not like the verdict is all agreeable in one sense. There's many opinions of a lot of people. This is what's good about it. But let's just say for someone, if they didn't like or like, we're just taking like the topic of like how Batman was in BVS, more, vengeful, more pissed off. And in Justice League, he's trying to make amends. He's more chill. He's trying to be more good and all. And I just was realizing the structure of this and just thinking, I'm like, what if Luke had this kind of thing too? And again, same thing. You like it, you hate it. I'm just kind of thinking about what if, like a what if, and people could talk. If the more someone could be open minded for something, the better the world could be for just discussions, debates, just for any kind of conversation. So I thought, the Last Jedi plays how it is. Luke is how he is. But what if they in Rise of Skywalker, Luke still is alive and all, and he tries to make everything right. He realizes, like he says his arc, that he was wrong. Why didn't we get a whole as big of a role he was in the eighth? Give him that in ninth, trying to help out with his sister, trying to finally help out where completing Rey's training. Even Leia can still join. Who knows? Leia, Luke can both train Rey. There is more to being like, he can admit, confronting his nephew and just that kind of stuff. I'm not saying like how it turned out was bad, how it turned out it was great for both franchises, okay? I'm just saying, like, that would be so cool if we would have got that kind of scenario. It was nice to get, like, whether you agree or disagree, I understand at the very least what was going on, with Batman, realizing that that's why he wasn't as, aggressive, as edgy in that next one, which would have been cool still to see that more of that BBS. I can admit that. But Justice League bringing him more calm and all, I really I I intellectualize why that was being the creative decision, and that would have been so amazing for Luke. I know these are just like our all our kind of talks of what could have gone and all that, but it would have been really great. Who knows? Like you could still play a lot of what he goes. He could. This would have been the final chapter of him. He is the main protagonist of the original trilogy, as much as like I am a Han stan. I admit that I'm a Han stan in that kind of sense, but he is the one that ties us up, and it would have been nice even if he stayed until before the climactic battle or something, or he was involved in the climactic battle with helping out Ray and Ben. Who knows? Maybe there would have been more things that would have been altered, but I could still see a scenario where the Rise of Skywalker still plays the way it does, and then still have Luke sprinkled in with whatever you have. Not just have him have one scene, but have him have a lot to do. Still give it to the new characters. You could have still put the spotlight on the new characters. I understand that's what was being, the business decision, but still treat the original characters. Had the original two Skywalkers been the ones that at the very least closed out the chapter, and it would have been more satisfying, because then you would have a bit of both. Okay, that's how it really stands. That's how you could have, if we were about to have both ways, then that would have been nice. That's how it would have been played. I still, for me, like I've said, I still like the majority of Rise of Skywalker, and the decisions were done. So if whatever if Ray Palpatine really was a Ray Palpatine, if Ben Solo really was the Ben Solo redeem, it just still would have been nice. Like we would have been realizing more of like how now the Jedi Temple should have been built, and then realizing how just how more we would have got if even like new creative scenes within the brother and sister, and given the circumstances with what happened with Leia. Leia happens to for something. Still, we would have had Luke still played with that role. Hell yeah, he would have just been needed for this role, and it just would have been nice. Still, who we would still think maybe the sequel trilogy is what it is. Okay, I don't want to get into that. I might have fans on both sides, and I welcome them. And where I stand is I stand right in the middle. Okay, of what I like and hate. I'm just really talking about, again, just that's what I would think of what would go on and stuff, and just realizing that what could have been. There's so much more, but as I was just watching the film, like I keep saying, I just thought, man, that would have been so cool if that would have been treated for that. Just seeing, realizing just all these stories, and again, just it was nice to know that, like, if in case there was that person that maybe didn't like Batman and BBS, hopefully Zack Snyder's Justice League brought that for you. And if not, can be anybody. You don't have to judge your opinion on someone else's. Judge your own opinion. Everybody should have their own opinion. God, the world would be so boring. I know I'm saying a little bit preachy, but I'm just saying, like, it would be nice for everybody to have their own thing. I am one that was like, that's cool for BBS's Batman. Not the Batman really I grew up with, but it's a badass interpretation of him. And then I was like, okay, so Zack Snyder's Justice League, he came a little bit more to like the character he's more familiar, even though he's still Ben Affleck, so it's not completely the same. But I did really appreciate that kind of the progression, the arc of that kind of character, and that really was in all, you know, intents and purposes, me explaining this as a extension of why I really enjoyed that movie. Why, in some ways it kind of did work and all. But yes, guys, let me know what you thought. If like, what do you guys think of these like these arcs? And still, you could still be like, Ben Affleck's Batman still wasn't for me, or you still like Ben Affleck's Batman. But let me know what you thought of both kind of characters and see if that would have been still kind of cool. And you probably would have been saying, yeah, duh, something like that's what I've been thinking. Whoa, I wanted to, say what you want. I've done this channel for many things, and if I want to talk about movies, that's why I'm talking movies in general. So I just wanted to make a quick video and just kind of give my thoughts, and just hopefully we have a nice discussion or a nice debate. But that's really what I thought. Whether this was a review or not, you guys know that these are just my thoughts and opinions, okay? I still think that, yes, and I'm going to bring the word back, this would have been entertaining. This definitely would have been entertaining, just to kind of see how these two characters, if their arcs in those franchises would have been more similar. Okay, not too on the nose, but still, the outline of how, just the characters really wanted to, make better, definitely make better of any kind of situation. That's just that is a really honest way, and just a really truthful way to look at any of all this. So all this in the comments below, and as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile, repeat.